Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be the third in the series for the applications for residency in UAE. This video is going to talk in detail about the DOH application form, what's the eligibility criteria, the updated eligibility criteria, and how you can actually maneuver through filling the application form successfully. Some of the candidates have got their applications rejected, which is making them worried about what's going wrong. So I'm just going to explain how to fill the application form and then just give you a run through on how to fill the application form by actually filling it. And then you can have an idea of what you're missing it before you can actually submit the application before the deadline. I hope this video helps you out to properly sort your documents and upload them with the required file details so that you don't end up getting your application rejected. Okay, so first things first is for us to search the DOH application. So you can just search DOH Medical Residency 2024 and you will have the links to the Health Authority's website. Medical Residency Education Program Cycle 2024, this is what you need to select. Once you open the DOH webpage, this is what it opens up to you. So you have the Department of Health, which is pleased to announce the applications, and the deadline is April 1st, 2024. So you cannot submit your applications after April 1st, and you need to make sure your documents and everything are in line and in place before you submit your application on April 1st. So one thing new that's about this program is that there's new training programs which is introduced in this cycle that brings the total programs of 40, which means that there are a few hospitals that have added residency programs under their name this year as well. So once you go through the application form, you will see the new added list and you can choose from them as well. Just a brief overview of the application process. The residency entrance exam is the MRE examination that you're going to write as a pre-entry requirement. And then you have the MEAD application submission, which is the deadline from 1st of March until 31st of March. That means from 1st April onwards, you will not be able to upload any more documents or even submit your application. The applicant interview booking scheduling will start from 27th of April. So once your application is submitted, it gets reviewed by the committee, and by 27th, the slots for opening the interview to the candidates are live on the website. And from the application website where you have submitted your documents, you can actually go down and select particular dates that are available to you to select for the interview. So it's the programs that you have applied for will actually release dates that they are available for interviews, and you can choose the day that you feel is comfortable for you to come and give the interview to them. So this happens from 27th of April until 3rd of May. And once you're done with that, you have the interviews that happens from 1st of May onwards. So this is usually a 1-month process where multiple candidates book their dates for interviews and they get interviewed by the program directors, program coordinators, the associate PDs, and also the consultants and core faculties. So this is where you need to give your best, because this is the last step in your application process. And once this is done, everything from your side is actually to be finished on a place that you end on a very high note. Then you have the submission of rank order list. This is something which is very unique for the DOH pathway. Is once you finish your interviews, say for example you have given 10 interviews in multiple residency programs, maybe internal medicine and general surgery. So if you have given interviews at 10 different hospitals within these two programs, you are now eligible to rank your interviews from 1 to 10, ranking the one as the interview that you did the best, or you feel is the hospital or the program that you want to match into the highest. So 1 to 10 is a rank order list that you will rank the program. And similarly, this is the time where the program will also rank all the candidates that have been interviewed. And say for example in emergency medicine, 50 candidates have been interviewed, so the program will actually rank 1 to 50 for all the candidates that have been interviewed. So this is a tally of the rank order that happens from the program and from the candidate. So it's vice versa, it's for both parties, where it actually identifies if the program and the candidate that's applying actually really want to be matched. So you have to be in line with the program. You need to rank your program higher if your program is going to rank you higher. So that's going to end up getting you matched into that particular program. But if you rank the program the least, but the program ranks you higher, which means the program wants you, but you actually do not want that program much, so it might end up of you not being matched in that particular program. Then you have the post match with other health regulatory bodies. This is the same as the cross match that I've explained in the DHA application, which the programs will actually see your file in the other health authorities, and if you have successfully matched there or not. If you have matched in multiple health authorities or even in multiple programs, then an email will be sent to you to choose one of the programs out of all the list that you have matched at, so that you end up getting matched at the program of your choice, because you cannot be matched in more than one program in this residency pathway. The final match publication will be on 15th of July. This is when you will come to know on the online website of DOH if your name has been shortlisted as one of the residents to be joining in that particular program. Once you are aware of this, this is the time where you start with the HR documentation and processes, which is the license issuance, contact, and contract. However, one thing to note is this is only the first round of publication of the results. There are instances where some of the candidates, they reject their seats, or some candidates get matched into two other specialties, and the reordering happens, which leaves a few seats empty. This leads to a second round of matching where the secretaries and the program coordinators actually approach to the next person on the list and ask them if they are willing to take the position of that resident spot. Once you accept that, this is the second round of matching. So if your name doesn't appear on the online list, don't be disheartened unless and until you receive a rejection email from DOH. So as long as there is a place for you to get it matched into residency in the second cycle or third cycle, just keep checking your emails and keep checking your online application, because you will be updated over there. And finally, 1st of September will be the start of the program, which is constant for every year. So for each resident that joins, 1st of September will be the joining date into that residency program. All right, before we move further, I just want to highlight a few residency requirements that have been updated on the DOH website. The first is the pre-entry examination. That is what you need to complete from the NIHS, which is the MD examination. This is the link to their website and to get registered from the body for that's holding the examinations. Second is the graduation certificate, which should be less than 5 years old for non-UAE nationals. If you are an IMG or an expat studying in the UAE in any other medical college, this is the age requirement that you need to comply with, which is less than 5 years old since the time your degree has been issued to you. A GP of 3 and above, or a percentage of 80% and above for non-UAE applicants. This is basically the record of marks attained for each year of medical school, which is compulsory for people who are applying for the DOH pathway. Sometimes your applications can get rejected if you do not comply with this, so make sure that you are well above this minimum requirement criteria before applying for DOH. Internship certificate for medical and dentist completion is before 31st of August 2024. So if you are a current intern, you must make sure that before 31st August of this year, you are completing your internship. Otherwise, you will not be matched for this cycle, because internship is mandatory for applying for any pathway in the UAE, be it a GP, be it a residency pathway. You need a mandatory internship completion. Since the programs in UAE starts from September, in the DOH, completion before 31st of August is mandatory. Applicants should be less than 36 years old for UAE applicants and less than 30 years old for non-UAE applicants on the date of application submission. So make sure that you do not cross the age barrier limit as well, because if it's more than this, then your application can be rejected as well. Dental residency programs are open for UAE nationals only, and completion or clearance from the National Service for male UAE national. Since you're an IMG, these two do not apply for you, and this is the main residency requirement that you need to bear in mind before you apply for the residency pathway. Now, if you just scroll down to the end of the page, you will find the application link, which is what you can use to complete your application form. Once you click on the link, this is what it opens up to you. You have the login to DOH or register as a new user. You have the reset password and retrieve account details and a registration guide. For any IMG or for any person who is applying for this application for the first time, I would actually urge them to go through the registration guide before going to the login page, because the registration guide will actually give you an overview on how to proceed with the application in detail. So once you click on the registration guide, it opens up a PDF document and it explains to you step by step on how you can actually fill the application form with crucial details. So if you just scroll down to this page, you have how to create a new DOH account with UAE Pass, how you can access your existing DOH account with UAE Pass, and how you can merge all existing DOH accounts into a single account. So for example, if you have an existing account, how can you continue using that? If you want to create a new one, how you can do it, it's all in here. So even if you just scroll down, it will just give you an idea. Something that's important to note is this one, the one that's marked in blue. The UAE residency users with expired Emirates ID can be registered as visitors in the UAE pass. Later, they can update the Emirates ID. So, for example, if you are an expat living in UAE and unfortunately your Emirates ID is expired, or it's gone for a verification, or it's gone for even just getting a new Emirates ID that's going to come to you soon, but the application is still ongoing, you can register as a visitor until you have the new Emirates ID. Non-UAE residency users who registered as an seek or internship, Emirates ID is optional. So even if you have already been in the DOH pathway as an intern before and gone through the application, so this is something that's optional for you to use your Emirates ID. UAE residency users with active Emirates ID can be registered as residents in the UAE pass. So you can also look at your Emirates ID and see if you are registered as a resident or not. And one thing to note, if you have multiple DOH accounts, you can link the main DOH account with the UAE Pass account, and later you can merge all of them under one. And if any facility is sharing one DOH account with multiple employees, the facility has to request to correct the access or role for each employee. So this is something that is on a higher level to you than just an IMG or just a normal expat or even a local student applying for the application. But if you fall into any of these categories, you need to know what you need to do. So the first thing is to create a new DOH account with UAE Pass. Something that is very common with all applications now is to use your UAE Pass, as they have linked this as a national document to proceed with applications. So if you're having a new DOH account with UAE Pass, which is the residence with the Emirates ID, it's simple. You just log on to the website as the link, and you click on login to DOH, which is highlighted in yellow, and it will open up the web page to you. So it will ask you, and notice to please note, as part of linking DOH accounts with UAE Pass, it requests all users to sign in with UAE Pass. You can download the application and register. If your Emirates ID is expired, you still can register as a visitor. So it's gone to the concept that username and password is not mandatory now, and simple UAE Pass login will help you to log into your account, which is again a safe authentication that your application will be secure. So once you accept that, it takes you to this page where it shows you to sign in with UAE Pass. And once you're done with that, it takes you to the login. This is where you put in So this is where you will put in the login to UAE Pass details, basically your Emirates ID number if you have, or if you don't have an Emirates ID, you will have the UAE Pass identity number, which you will put in and log in yourself. Once you are logged into that, you will have to enter at least your valid Emirates ID or a mobile number or an email address which is registered with UAE Pass. Once you have downloaded the application either from Apple Store or Android and have fulfilled the details and submitted the application there, you will have all your details with you. Now, if the UAE Pass is not registered, then you have to click on create a new account. This is something that will be very common for all the IMGs or anyone who's applying for this pathway for the first time. So they will ask you if you have an account on DOH. Then you can say yes, you have, and you can log in, or you can say no, you do not have, and you can create a new one. So once you create a new account, you can enter all the mandatory details, which will take you to this place. One thing you need to note from this place is the unique identification number, or the UIN, which is on the top right corner. Sometimes you will need this to fill it in your application forms, so make sure that you note your UIN number. Again, simple steps: first name, middle name, last name, contact information, your email address, country code, mobile number, and your nationality. Once you have it done, you can proceed to select the facility type and enter the user profile information. So as facility representative, all non-DOH licensed users must use this option to register their request. Please note that this option will take more time for approval or their request. Or else, you can choose for insurance complaints, CRI complaints, or as a registration for medical education programs. So someone who's applying for internship or residency, this is the option you select to and proceed ahead. So you have your user profile information details as mentioned. You will put in your code and you will proceed to the next step. Once you proceed to the next step, you obviously have selected your MEAD account has been successfully registered. You will have a username. Again, you need to save this username with you. That will be required by you for login purposes if needed in the future. Then you can proceed with the same option as the registration for medical education programs, and you move on to the next step. Now, this is the initial application login page. For example, if you are someone who has expired Emirates ID and you want to create a new account, same steps to follow. Log into DOH, you will be redirected to the same screen for UAE Pass. Once you sign in with UAE Pass, you will log into the UAE Pass. Once you do that, again it will tell you that if it's registered or not. Then you say that no, you have to create a new account, and you fill in the mandatory details. So once you fill in that as well, you are a visitor now, but you have to always make sure that once you have your MS ID ready with you, you need to re-update the details on the application. So the same steps follow. You have the registration, the user profile information, and your username will be created again. Now, third step over here, that's something that's additional to you, is whenever you click on the home button or after logging in, the system will show the option to update the Emirates ID, because since you're a visitor, it will keep showing you that. So when the Emirates ID is mandatory, the system will not allow to proceed without entering it. So later on, once your application is done, for example, or you got your Emirates ID and stuff, you must link your Emirates ID with the account. So whenever you get your Emirates ID number, you click it here and then you proceed. Now, when the Emirates ID is not mandatory, the system will allow to proceed without entering it. So there will be a skip button. So you will have the same window with a skip option. But at times the application cannot proceed without you entering it, and the application will always notify you that if it is temporary or it needs to be permanently filled. So you need to make sure that you have this option with you. Sometimes there will be a system error where it might not show you the skip button, and it will show you to mandatory enter it, and your application will not proceed. In such instances, you can email DOH or call them up, and they will fix this technical error for you. One other way is how to access my existing DOH account with UAE Pass. If you already have registered yourself and you have an account, this is the way you will log into your web page. So again, log into DOH as usual, the same window that appears to you for UAE Pass. You sign in with UAE Pass, and then you proceed with the login. Once you are logged in, again, you proceed with creating a new account, or you have the same account as before. You will click on yes, I have an account, because you are already an existing user. So once you click on yes, I have an account and login option, it takes you to the login page. You will have your username and password that you have already been registered with before. So once you have that saved with you, you can put them here, username and password, and you click link above account with UAE Pass. Now, once your account is linked, the next time you enroll yourself, or the next time you log into the page, it will take you through sign in from UAE Pass. So now your account is linked. You don't need to remember your username and password again, but however, save these details separately on your phone so that if needed in future, you already have the details that you can apply with. Now, it takes you to the download user manual, the same web page as everyone. Now, the last step is how to access the existing DOH account for visitors, someone who has an expired Emirates ID or someone who does not have an Emirates ID at all. The same way it is, just log into the system, opens you to the window, sign in with UAE Pass, log into UAE Pass, and then click on yes, I have an account to log in. Once you have an account to log in, you enter your username and password as shown before. And as for the linking account, it will show either the Emirates ID is mandatory or optional, as the window that came up before. So if you open it up, you will either see this or this. So if you see the skip button, you can just skip and you're back to your web page where you can continue with the application form. So this is basically what everyone needs to understand on an IMG basis or an expired basis, or someone who's doing the application for the first time. If someone who has done the applications before for maybe an internship or a clinical attachments or electives or multiple other reasons, then they have multiple DOH accounts open up. They must all link it to a single account. So this is how you can link it to a single account, where you have all your details, where you add access or privilege of the other account, and you can just follow the steps that's mentioned here and your account will be merged successfully. There's nothing else you need to do for that. All right, so let's just go back to the home page and just log into DOH and register as a new user and start the application process to see how it goes. So this is the same window as shown. We agree to it and we sign in with UAE Pass. So this is the web page that opens up when you have signed in from your UAE Pass, and now here you can see the self-services, home button, and your profile. So once you come back to your home page and you have your MEAD username and password already created, you will have this tab that adds up, which is showing MEAD application, booking interviews or viewing interviews, or MEAD applicant ranking. So you proceed to the MEAD application first and fill out your application form. So once you open up, you will have this window that shows you the introduction with the instructions, the page where actually you need to understand before you proceed with the application if you're eligible to apply or not. So if you choose the following, you will see dental and medical internship, dental and medical and clinical pharmacy residency PGY1, the fellowship programs, the clinical pharmacy. This is specific for them, and then you have the all applicants common instructions. So make sure that you read them out properly so that you know that you're not missing out anything. And the timeline is also mentioned over here, the same thing that was mentioned on the website earlier, and you have everything else in detail mentioned over here as well. Then you have the PSV and dataflow process. You can also read this to know what you are supposed to understand when you're sending your documents to be verified, what all documents are actually needed to be verified. Like for example, if you see you have the university certificate, you have the internship certificate or the dean's letter. This excludes the UA nationals applying for clinical pharmacy training. You have the health license. If you have worked as a GP here, you need it. If not, you can skip this. Certificate of good standing, excluding the Department of Health and GSC. If for example you have not worked in before, you do not need this. Professional experience if applicable, if you have worked before as a GP. If not, you don't need this. IELTS or TOEFL or OET if applicable. So for example, if you're an IMG or someone's applying for the first time, this is something, and you have done it from abroad, this is something that you need to also verify. Then once you go ahead, you will see how much it's going to cost you for the data flow process and what's going to be the range and how will the applicants be informed about it. Something that you can always keep in hand is the email address, the telephone number, how you can approach them if you're having any problems with data flow. And if you want to visit them physically, you will also have the location to them where you can actually visit them and sort out details. Sometimes it gets difficult with the high volume of calls and high volume of messages and emails reaching them that they are unable to answer you. So you can also drop in personally to meet them and sort your documentation out as well. And then you have the interview process, submission of rank order, preliminary match, and the post-match period. Then the final match publication happens and the license issuance will take place. And the availability of programs for MEAD this year is as follows. This is for the clinical pharmacist on the first, the dental internship following, and the medical fellows below. Medical internship, this is the hospitals list. If, as you can see, Cleveland, Danat Al Emarat, Sheikh Khalifa Hospital, Sheikh Shakbout, Burjil Royal, Burjil Hospital, Burjil Medical City, Meteor, Mediclinic, Airport Road, Alain Branch, Jawhara. There are multiple hospitals for them. You have the NMC hospitals and you have Tawam Hospital, Zayed Military Hospital as well. So if you look on the right, this is going to give you the number of seats that they have that they can accept for medical internships, and this is the number of seats that they will actually take in during that current academic year. Once you move ahead, you have the residency program for dentistry with the number of seats allotted, and then you have the residency for the medical internship program. This is for the residency program where you have Cleveland Clinic for radiology having 3 seats, Sheikh Khalifa for radiology having 4 seats, Zayed Military having 2 seats. Similarly, for obstetrics and gynecology, you have Cornish Hospital and Tawam Hospital, each having 3 seats as well. Then you have neurology offered by Sheikh Shakbout and Cleveland Clinic having 2 and 3 seats respectively. Then you have the internal medicine programs offered by Cleveland, Sheikh Khalifa, Sheikh Shakbout, Zayed Military Hospital and Tawam Hospital as well. And you can see the number of seats offered by each hospital. Like Sheikh Shakbout and Tawam Hospital have 10 seats each. The others have 4, 6, 5. So you can always choose which hospital has more seats, or which hospital is more competitive, or which hospital you actually want to match into. So this is where you can actually understand them as well. Psychiatry also is offering you seats in Sheikh Khalifa and Tawam Hospital. Dermatology is currently only in Sheikh Khalifa Medical City with 2 seats. Family medicine is offered in the ambulatory health care services clinics, Sheikh Khalifa Hospital and Zayed Military Hospital as well. Then you have pediatrics being offered in Danat Al Emarat, Sheikh Khalifa Medical City, Sheikh Shakbout and Tawam Hospital. So you can always look at the number of seats and if that's eligible for you to apply. You also have ophthalmology. You have in Cleveland Clinic and Sheikh Khalifa Medical City. So you can look at the number of seats for them. So basically you have total of 4 seats when you are looking in the Abu Dhabi region. Then you have community medicine, which is almost similar to family medicine and ambulatory health services. That's going to give you 2 seats. You have Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi for anesthesia, giving you 4 seats. Tawam Hospital for 3 seats. You have ENT Specialty by Cleveland Clinic, Tawam Hospital, and Sheikh Shakbut, giving you 3 and 2 seats respectively. You also have emergency medicine, so you can look at the number of seats being offered by them from Cleveland, Sheikh Khalifa, Tawam Hospital, Zayed Military, and Sheikh Shakbut. If you scroll down, you will have general surgery being offered by Cleveland Clinic and Tawam Hospital with 4 and 6 seats respectively. And you have orthopedic surgery being offered by Sheikh Shakbut. This is a new addition program which is giving you 2 seats. You have Sheikh Shakbut giving you pediatric surgery residency with 2 seats, and Tawam Hospital giving you urology with only 1 seat. So this is something that you can actually go through and have an idea of which specialty is giving you how many seats. And then the required documents, obviously you have it all noted down here in detail, so you can go through it if you are having a problem in the application. Then if you want to contact MEAD for any discrepancy in your application, or maybe you submitted your application by mistake and there's something you need to amend, you can call them up and you can actually have a chat with them on what's wrong, and they can help you out with it. And declaration and authorization is also the same way. Since you have read all the instructions and you know about it, you will have to agree with it before you proceed with the application. So once you finish the instructions, you go to the next page of application information, where you have to select the type. For example, for which level you're applying for. So usually for any IMG who's applying for medical residency, is going to come to the resident physician, and you select that. Then you will put in your examination ID number, which is the MRE examination that you have done, and it will come up over here. And the date of passing of the exam, when you have passed the exam, and if you are a resident in UAE, yes or no. So for example, if I'm IMG, I'm going to select no. So this is again going to process my application and change a few things. Then I can select my date of birth and passport number, and I need to make sure that I have these things done before. If I have previously done data flow verification, for example for DOH or something, I can click on yes. But if I did not do it, I can start as a new one and press on no. If I have been licensed anywhere in the world, this is basically after your internship. If you have worked somewhere as a GP abroad or even in the country, you can press yes or no depending on that. And if you have any clinical experience after internship, you can press yes or no depending upon your status. Okay, so once you have your application information filled up, it takes you to an MEAD ID number. That is the number that is going to be given to you separately, and your status that is going to be as a draft until you're submitted. And then you have the application information, personal, education, internship, license, experience, interview choices, authorization, and declaration status to be filled in step by step. You have to upload the MEAD entrance examination result. Just click on attachment and upload your file here. You can also name the file, for example, MEAD exam result, and also maybe your application number or your name. So whatever your name is, you can put it up. And then you can click on add and choose a file, and then choose a file and then click on add, and then once it's uploaded, you close it. The asterisk sign, which means it's a mandatory information. You cannot proceed to the application unless and until you fill that. So for people who are uploading their documents or who are trying to fill out the application, if you have not given your MD examination, be aware that you might not be able to proceed with the application without the results. So a page of your personal details, which is your title, first name, middle name, last name, and also the same thing in Arabic. And if you have a change in name, yes or no, and if it's something it's different from your degree and your passport, you can mention them here. And then your religion, your sector, and your gender, and current nationality, previous nationality if it's there for you, or any other nationality that's not mentioned in the list. Then your marital status, your phone number, and your mobile number. So that was basically how you can actually upload your documents and do the application form for the DOH. Unfortunately, I'm not able to proceed with the application because it's going to require me to upload all my documents and details again, which is going to be time consuming for me for gathering all the information and putting it. But if you read the first page, it's going to actually show you exactly how you're going to upload all the documents. And if you have any queries, how you can actually refer back and make sure that your documents are aligned before you can submit it for data flow, or before you can also submit it for the application review from MEAD while you're submitting it for the DOH. So this is basically how the entire application happens, the crucial details that you needed to know before filling out the application. I hope this video was a very concise guide for you to sort out the application process. And if you have any questions on how to proceed with the application, you can always jot down below and I'll be happy to help. Thank you so much.